Welcome to Thoughts Roundup.
Hi.
How nice it is to be with you. I have Brother Larry Booker with me again today. I've enjoyed having him on the program, and I hope you've enjoyed the programs. I think in some ways, of course, I wanted Brother Booker to tell you a story that he had told me about his surgery. I think we've milked that surgery for about all we're going to get out of it, but there is a little outlying story that I think that would be very nice for you to hear. Thank you, Brother Booker, for being with me.
Well, it's good to be here and good to be with you all. And we started, you heard the beginning of this story yesterday. And but I did have knee surgery. And I was along a few weeks in it. Of course, you use a walker in the beginning, etc. I'm going to stop here and state, though, that my wife, Brenda Booker,
Which is a sweet, sweet lady.
she's a wonderful, wonderful lady. And I have no idea what I'd have done having that surgery without her. And the first 2 nights were the most horrible. And the reason was I had a patch behind my ear to help nausea, keep from getting nauseous. I had no idea whatsoever that patch was what was making me virulently thirsty. And so in the process of being virulently thirsty, I drank water, I drank all day long because I was parched. And so what that would mean, I'd have to get up many times in the night. My poor wife would have to help me. It's a miracle she has a back left. Finally, found out it was the patch, and she had removed it and the thirst went away, thank goodness. But I learned lessons that when I had the next knee surgery done, I've learned a lot of things that'll help. But along about 3 weeks after, I was sick of the walker, and I called a doctor that was overseeing me and asked how long before I get rid of the walker. They said about a week, etc. Gave me the walk through there. But what I was really interested in was driving, because, and not to bore you with minutia, but my left knee was worse than my right knee. But the right knee is what pushes the gas pedal and the brake, the right leg. So I had that done first because I wanted to drive. Okay. So I said, now, I know the walker in about a week. How about driving? And she said, okay, yes, driving. I said, probably about the same time. Said, what you do, Stan? Now, you have 3 grown sons, right? I said, yes. And you have grandchildren? Yes. She said, have one of your sons take you to a large parking lot. I said, we'll go to our church parking lot. She said, good, that's great. Said, drive around, you get behind the wheel at the parking lot, and you drive around, go around the medians, push on the brakes, use your signals, just pretend you're on the streets. But your son, whichever son you use, will know that sometime in this process, he will say, now. And the second he says now, you slam on the brake. You pretend one of your grandkids has just run out in front of your car. And if you can instantly slam on the brakes and it not hurt you. And he's also going to know that during this time, he's going to say it 2 more times. And the next time he says it, if there's no hesitancy, you can do it. Said, and the third time, no hesitancy, said, then you're ready to drive. So I had planned the following for a week. I didn't know if it would be with my son Joel, the oldest, or my middle son Philip, or my youngest son Larry Andy. But I had planned this for a week. As it turns out, there was a Bible quiz tournament in Bakersfield, California, and all three of my sons were there, as all of their children were Bible quizzing, and so they weren't there. So it was my wife, Brenda, and I. So we get down to the church. I'm behind the wheel, and we're driving around and doing the turn signals, doing everything. And my wife says, "Now!" And I've got my hands on the wheel, and I looked at her and I said, "Which grandchild are we talking about?" I said, "Sick." And she said, "Larry, you're so stupid."
Larry, you're so stupid. That's what she said?
That's exactly what she said. And I was dying laughing, and I said, maybe I'd planned for that for a week. I thought it'd be one of the boys. So later, when the boys were at the house on Sunday night, I told them the story, and my boys burst out laughing. But my daughter-in-laws, their wives, said, "Dad, that's sick." And it really was, but it was funny. So I guess I got a disclaimer.
Now, let me ask you, for the rest of those boys' lives, will they wonder which one you would break for and which one you wouldn't?
I will tell you a very interesting story about that very thing. I had a dream one night, and I really, it's so vivid, I feel like it was from the Lord. But in this dream, you know, the Apollo capsules were very small. And for them to go to the moon, but they did, they had others with them. But in my dream, I'm a little claustrophobic. I was getting into a small, like Apollo capsule, and I knew it's going to Mars, and it's a one-way trip. There ain't no comebacks.
No comebacks.
And the thought of no comebacks, but the thought of being in that tiny capsule for that long, I said, I'm not doing it. I am not going.
Get out.
And so I got out. And whoever was dealing with me, they said, that's fine, but one of your grandchildren is going.
Oh, I hit the wrong one.
And so in the dream, I thought from my oldest, who's named Logan, who's now 20, all the way down to the youngest, which is Marilyn. Logan is Philip's boy. Marilyn is Joel's daughter. She's the youngest, named after Marilyn Chenault, by the way. And I went through all of the grandkids, and I thought, it doesn't matter which one. I'm going with them.
Going with him?
I'm going with them. And in the dream, it was so vivid. My mind went through every child sitting there. It was only like a dream can happen. And they're there. They're frightened. They're scared. They're going to Mars. There's no comebacks. And Papa would get in next to them. And I'd put my arm around them. And it was every one of them in the dream. And I said, it's okay. Papa's going with you. We're going together. It's going to be okay. And just the comfort of them knowing Papa's with me. And then I woke up. Now here is my interpretation of that dream. The writer of Hebrews talks about people who were all their lifetime subject to bondage through fear of death. But Jesus went through death for us. And now that if you're ready to meet him, he gets in the capsule with you because you have the Holy Ghost and says, I've already been there. It's okay. It's going to be okay. And there is no fear of death. There is no sting for us because he's with us all the way through. So, to your question, yeah, I would do that for any of the grandkids, and but that was a sorry
Well,
joke.
that relieves me because I had heard that you was going to get in with the one and in the capsule, and instead you slammed the door, locked it, and hit the trigger. Well, that wasn't right, was it?
No, apparently you got another version from somewhere.
Thank y'all for,
Thank you for listening.
Being with us,
It's
brother.
been, I enjoy being with you.
And we got another day. I want to talk with you another day if you don't mind.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
God bless you
Will.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless everybody.